Hello, and welcome to another week of the Abuse Cartoons live stream. Maybe I can get rid of this. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Appears to be working, so I just can't hear myself. There we go. All right. Well, back again, almost on time this week. And I guess this is the end of the Thanksgiving weekend, so I'm not expecting viewership to be amazing. Let me see here. Wait a minute. Oh, hey, there's some Mikan. All right, let me put this on this screen. A little sneak preview of what we're talking about. Okay. There we go. And again, I should flip my window so it looks like I'm actually looking at the screen. All right, so everything seems to be set up. The pressure sensitivity seems to be back again. I had a update and a restart, so that seemed to help. The driver seems to be doing better. I love how that's always a thing. But yeah, so Thanksgiving. So I definitely missed that meal. People have or try to. I guess, and you can get, you've talked about this before, you can get turkeys in Japan, but crazy expensive. And any place that offers turkey, usually it's really, really dry. It's basically like turkey jerky. They don't know how to cook it, or I'm not sure if it's just like badly frozen and, you know, however it's transported here. But I've had some really dry, terrible turkey around this season, so I think you can get it, but you probably shouldn't want to. It's pretty rough. So I hope everyone in North America, or I guess in the US, I'm not sure if Canada has an equivalent holiday, but yeah, hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. Oh, that's right. So it would have been Black Friday as well. Yeah, that's a thing that's kind of picking up in popularity here, picking up steam, kind of, starting to become more popularized in Japan is the Black Friday shopping sale things. And nobody knows why it's called that, so it's pretty funny. Nobody knows the reason for Black Friday, the name, and when they report the deaths of people from being trampled to death. It does sound like a very black holiday, very dark and full of death holiday. A lot of stores here are advertising Black Friday, but they don't know the kind of bookkeeping reference. And that's true. Every year there's wonderful. I didn't even pay attention to it this year. I'm sure there's somebody posting something about it, but they always have those horrible videos of people fighting over $20 garbage TVs and being trampled, actually just even getting into the store. But hopefully there's been enough lawsuits or something that it's slowed the stores down from doing that sort of thing, or just running it a little bit better, not just leaving a bunch of 18-year-olds to handle a crowd of hundreds that are that all want that $50 Blu-ray player or whatever nonsense. They advertise those doorbuster deals. I remember as a kid that those kind of things, like, they lasted throughout the day and they were kind of a little bit more legitimate than they are now. And now it's just like, we've got, 10 of this item so we can advertise it. And know for a fact that there's going to be a lot of disappointed customers on that day, and that, the staff is going to have to deal with it. But I don't think the people running the show really care about that. So, and I wonder how many people have lost their jobs from poorly handled, Black Friday mayhem. Yeah, that was the thing that I felt the most. I think the shittiest job that I had, the job that, and I was trying to make it not a shitty job, but the worst job that I had was definitely the kind of Cineplex projectionist, because I'd had some little bit of experience, with projectors in undergrad in animation. So applied for and was working with people from the Ithaca College Film School and stuff. It's pretty funny. Everyone's like, is this movie related? I'll try to get this job. But it's really, really terrible. And I had no idea how much the ass end, the desperate ass end of the movie business theaters are, and learned a lot of really shocking stuff, like those big weekends where movie theaters are just killed, and especially in the summer, when big movies come out that are just sold out. A lot of shows for at least the first weekend. It used to be the first week, and now I think it's just the first weekend. The theaters themselves, the actual cinemas, make the smallest amount of the actual box office ticket sales. Most of the ticket sales go to the studios for that. And it's only if a movie runs over 3 or 4 weeks that then the cinema itself starts to make a decent amount from the take. But by that time, unless it's been one of those movies that got bad reviews, but word of mouth is really great, so it has legs in the theater, so it's a rare movie that theaters make any money on, because especially in the summertime, there's always the next big one coming out, and it pushes the previous ones out. Where it used to be like you could have Star Wars or Jaws in a theater for a year, you won't have that anymore, because there's always something that pushes it out. So they never make any money. So that's why the markup on the concession stand is so crazy, because that's their only source of income. So if you do, take your own food in, or don't buy anything, you only buy the ticket, especially, so people that will only go see first run movies, or, movies opening weekend, and don't buy any concessions, are just a nightmare for the movie theaters, because they have to deal with you, and then they make nothing. They make no money. It's really depressing. It's really, terrible how things are run. I think it's different in Japan, because the studios own the theaters. So it's that monopoly that they broke up in America still exists in Japan. And, the quality of the movie theaters, because I guess the studio sees it as like the exhibition of their films, the cleanliness and the quality of the projection and everything, quality of the presentation, has a lot to do with reflecting on the quality of the movie studio. So the studios or the theaters are very clean and very nice, small, very small, but well managed and not disruptive at all. I mean, they cost a fortune. It's like $18 minimum for tickets, and then if it's IMAX or anything, it goes up from there, 22 to, I think, up to like 30, depending on how much you want your chair to vibrate. But it's a completely different experience, because it's not cheap. It's not something kids just do because they've got nowhere else to go. So there's not a lot of disruptive kids. It's actually mostly older people, and very quiet and respectful, and there aren't people eating, disgusting food that they brought from the outside in there, because they have a pretty big menu at the concession stand, but it's still like insanely overpriced. But I don't think they have that same problem with, the theater not making any money. The weird change recently, which may have happened in North America too, is that the actual box office is getting very small, because they want you to do everything in advance, kind of digitally. And in all the theaters, 100% of the theaters in Japan, or at least the ones I've been to, because they don't have dollar theaters here. And because the presentation is maintained by the studios, they don't want to do second runs. There's nobody to make money from second runs. They have festivals. They have film festivals, but they don't have second-run theaters here. So they have assigned seats. So everything is an assigned seat. So if you're late to get tickets for a movie, it's not sold out yet, more than likely you're sitting way off to the side, because you have assigned seats and everything is taken and everyone sits in their seat. I know that, you have assigned seats in the U.S. and just people take each other's seats and say, what are you going to do about it? It's amazing. Yeah, so that's the thing. I don't miss that at all, especially in Los Angeles. In the Valley, don't go see a movie there ever. Just a nightmare. Just a bunch of bored teenagers. Yeah, and the bored teenager stories I heard in the Valley, the San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles, are terrible. I mean, it's just short of like committing homicide. It's like, we just did that for entertainment. They would get old fire extinguishers and things and load them up with like maple syrup and stuff and just drive up and down the street, and anybody walking, which are very few people, but they'll probably be elderly people, poor people, homeless people. They just spray with some weird thing they decided we're gonna. So they're driving in a car, and anybody that's not in a car, they're spraying with some kind of horrible stuff, and just doing things to terrorize people walking, because the I won't go into it so much, but Los Angeles just sprawls, so there's not enough police. So there's never a cop when you need one. So that kind of nonsense happens so much. I was even surprised, kids I went to art school with were bragging about their exploits growing up in the valley. It sounded horrible, and just, any suburban kind of area. Kids are so bored that it just leads to all kinds of nonsense. All right. Yeah, the pressure is doing wonderful things. Don't know what's going on. Oh, well, hey, sorry, I didn't see that. Is this a series you do? And if so, what is it about? Oh, hello. So, sorry, I shouldn't have my chat so far away. Yes, this is a, thank you for watching, and this is a weekly, Tuesdays and Thursdays. It used to be daily, but now it's twice a week, a single panel gag cartoon that I've been doing since 2002. Wow. So we're coming up on 18 years next year, 17 years today or this year of doing this. Yes. So this is syndicated on gocomics.com, and a lot of different websites have picked it up as content. I forget what the last place that I saw it, but they syndicate, and mostly digitally, because print syndication, positions are pretty much filled. I don't think anyone's gotten new print syndication in a while. This cartoon is syndicated, and I do it twice a week. So you can get it on gocomics.com/domestic abuse. And also on my website. I don't have the archive anymore. I'm having some technical trouble kind of supplying that, so I figured just let it exist on GoComics for now. But yeah, please have a look. There's thousands of old cartoons. And so to try to keep myself on a regular schedule, and instead of kind of doing them in bulk, which what I was doing when I was doing daily cartoons is kind of sitting down and doing like 7 at a time, and the ideas and things kind of varied. I just do a weekly live stream, and then the live stream just kind of talk about what's going on. And currently I'm living in Japan, so there's a lot of funny culture clash and culture shock things to talk about. And so I draw the cartoon and write it, and then I look at the comments from last week on GoComics and do some stuff with convenience stores. So I'll stop by the convenience store before I get here, and then just bring something that you would find in a Japanese convenience store. And it's kind of an odd, not a real match to the comics. I don't draw a lot of convenience store things. It's mostly just home, domestic items. But it's just something that because I can do it, I may as well. And it might be interesting and a little distracting from just me rambling on about, top of my head kind of ideas. But so the idea is, the idea for domestic abuse was the kind of tiny failures or defeats or, failed social interactions, and having those things played out by inanimate objects instead of people, but the tension and the frustration of just those failures in life, and how little cruelties. So the reason for the title of domestic abuse, which I've addressed many times, and even in the introduction of the book, is the scale. Everybody has a different idea of the scale of what is painful or what is abuse, and if that happens in your family, in your home, by your loved ones, small things feel big. And what if all of those objects in your home, your coffee cups and magazines and everything, were actually absorbing all of that ugly ugly feelings and ugly energy, and they actually played that out. So it's playing with the idea of the scale of cruelty and abuse between people, and how when that's played out with things that aren't people, you can kind of see those small cruelties and small defeats, and just playing with the setting and the scale of that, I think is makes for a lot of sad cartoons, but also some funny ones. Yeah, so I think this is mostly sad, sometimes funny, I guess, is probably how it would go. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and this happens every week. So and also, if you're curious, you can check the archive. So anything that you go to in the archives as far as cartoons, you can watch me actually draw it. I've been doing this for the past 2 years. So anything from the past 2 years, so 2018, 2019, you can go watch it being created. So see kind of the creative process and how I got to that idea and how I came up with such a ridiculous joke for such a silly, simple drawing. But yeah, and it's, yeah, so simple, familiar, domestic items and kind of no context. Like I let either the joke or just the imagination of the viewer kind of put them in context on the kitchen counter, inside the refrigerator, on the table, on the dining room table, like wherever they would imagine those things would be. So and it just isolates the tension and the relationship between the actual things. And so I've had some funny reactions to this cartoon throughout the years. I've had some people read through an entire collection and say, "Oh, I really like how you didn't, lower yourself or do the obvious thing and put little faces on everything." Missing the fact that I do have tiny eyes and mouths sometimes on all of the objects. And I thought, "Oh, thank you very much." I've done exactly what you thought was the wrong thing to do, but you didn't notice. But yeah, so that's what this is. So if you enjoy the tone, so read a few, and if you enjoy the tone, there's a lot of them to go through, and some of them hit and some of them miss. I try to get across maybe an idea that's a little too much for the media. And trying to write it as efficiently as possible is difficult. So thanks for taking a look at the stream, and I hope it's I hope the comic is something you can enjoy, and I definitely understand it's not for everybody. It's got a sensibility that I get some comments. Well, and we might even run into one of those today. I get some comments on the Go Comics site where people are just like, "Huh? What? I don't get it." And if you don't get it, that's my fault. I mean, I don't see it any other way. I think it's a failure of anybody that's working in a creative medium that's supposed to communicate. If you don't get my joke and you don't laugh, then that's my fault. It's not anybody's fault for not figuring it out or not understanding the reference or whatever. I'm, kind of struggling with that, because as the culture kind of gets more, everything is so granular now. People are like, choosing their entertainment and everything on such a fine, detailed little level of exactly what they want, that it's harder to speak to, commonalities or things that people will recognize, because a lot of the times people have given up, participating in a lot of that kind of shared culture. So it's and you notice that often people making references, so I would say like a show like Mystery Science Theater wouldn't do, or obviously hasn't. I mean, there's still people that will pledge for it on Kickstarter, but the writing can't stand up that same way, because people don't have the kind of shared pop culture that they once had. And you're gonna have to start introducing kind of memes and things that have a more specific, tiny audience. So you're gonna be going for a lot more, kind of smaller, not as well understood stuff. So yeah, so it's difficult. So I definitely struggle with that, and also the fact that now I'm in Japan, a lot of the things that are familiar to me are Japanese things, and that's not a hugely known, like what a bottle of glue looks like in Japan, or what some fruit juice, what the container that fruit juice is served in Japan is totally different than it is in a lot of other countries. So that gets lost a little bit too, because I used to just, kind of look around the apartment when I was first drawing this cartoon, and the things that would be sitting there would be inspiring. All right. So I'm drawing a lot of little bowls. All right. Yeah, so this is just kind of the brainstorming warm-up part of the cartoon, trying to come up with some objects that I'm actually, feeling interested in. That might be better done as tape. Yeah, so let me start over here and try to keep putting things together. So I hope that helps. If this is your first time finding this, I hope that helps explain what is going on, and helps you know whether or not this looks interesting at all to you. But so I'll ramble on about things in Japan, and sometimes I used to, like, the first year of the live stream is more topics about creativity and kind of self-promotion, and kind of what to do if you're trying to live, if you're trying to work creatively, and just trying to give some advice based on my experience, but also just kind of stories and things that you'll run into, kind of common pitfalls or common frustrations, and also how things have changed, because things have changed so much. I mean, artists are doing so much now on Instagram, and people, I think, have just become basically internet artists. Like they draw, either record the drawing process, put the result on Instagram, and then sell the drawing, like do that daily. And that's how some people make an income, being creative, which is interesting. It seems like that would apply more to, well, and I guess it is, because it's mostly illustration, so it's kind of more arts and crafts, kind of crafty type, decorative things. So people that aren't actually thinking their way through anything, but are just making pretty pictures, and people follow those people, enjoy the images, and want to buy their favorite one. So that's what this is all about. Yeah, and I was, the end of last year, I was pretty much done with the live stream, but then Patreon, the Patreon kicked in, and people got interested in supporting this and seeing it happen regularly. So I got back to the regular schedule of live streams. I do have to be better about posting the notifications, or at least links to the live streams on Patreon, because I think that would be much more helpful. I don't know. I feel like it's and that's just my personal hang up maybe, but I feel like it's pestering. Like the way that they have Patreon set up, you just pester your patrons with updates and things. So everything you post on there, they're notified about, and if they don't really care, it's just, I don't know. It feels odd. And what is this a bottle of? But yeah, so if you enjoy this, please consider helping to make it exist more, and get some books and original art signed books, all that good stuff at Patreon. So patreon.com/abusecartoons. Promotion. All right. That's another thing that I'm quite terrible at. I think some artists are no talent and all promotion, all self-promotion, and they can make money doing that. And I'm all no talent, no self-promotion. So a lot of things don't happen for me, surprisingly. Yeah, and it's funny that I'm even doing this, because this is the thing I think I have the least confidence or competency in. There's a lot of artists that I think learned in like high school art classes or whatever, that they like to draw to entertain people. They like to draw and have people watch them do it, and the result is entertaining and interesting. And I think a lot of those people are on Twitch and things now, doing the creative streams where they're actually doing their illustration or artwork or whatever medium it is, and they can make it entertaining and it's fun to watch. And I've always been terrible at that, and the thought of having people watching me do something always corrupts the work. I always get so uncomfortable that the drawing is bad, or I just feel that I'm very stiff and it's very awkward. Let's see. Yeah, that's, but it's the wonkiness. Yeah, I got to remember when I was first drawing this, the original version of this is just Sharpie on paper that I would scan that line art. And now that I have the tablet, I kind of moved over to doing digital about 5 years ago. Yeah, something like that. And I like that, but I do correct things, and I copy and paste, and I distort, I try to fix the wonkiness of things. But when I look at the old cartoons, that's the charm of it. It is very wonky and not well drawn, and perspective is often, it's just kind of uncomfortable. And I think that helped a little bit the tension of the image itself, and the whole kind of idea of the strip, it being kind of weird. And and having no context, underlined or reinforced that a lot. All right. Oh, sorry. So let me take. Ascending Storm art. Nice. So thank you for. Is it Ascending? I'm sorry. My monitor is so far away. So thank you, Ascending Storm, for dropping by, and please, if you have a website or a stream or something, please, get in touch with me through the website or on Twitter. And I'd like to take a look at what you're doing. So, and I think that that's the other thing, that this strip is not cool. I think that, art, because it's, it's, if it's on Twitch, it's art as entertainment. And, people kind of want a level of cool, or, something that's interesting or impressive for them. And this series has never been that. The only thing it is long-lived. It's not particularly brilliant or particularly cool. Let's see. Maybe not a banana. I don't know where this is going. I like that drawing so much. All right. So just trying to go through and edit what I want to use. Here we go. Oh, breakfast. Yeah, I'm not thrilled. Should get these proportions a little better. All right, there we go. Oh yeah, maybe I should do the little foldy thing. There we go. To keep your coffee. Okay. So coffee versus orange juice. I think that'll work. All right. What's all this? Oh, some blanks. All right. Try to get everything organized by layers here. Okay. So okay. So I'm going to put a little note in here so I forget. Self-juice. Okay. Spent most. Oh, nice typing today. All right. Okay. I'll rewrite that. Just wanted to put that in there because once I start talking about other things, I'm going to start forgetting exactly what I was thinking. Oh, this is looking pretty similar. Oh, well. Compositions are looking samey, but I guess it'll work. Let's see. Yeah, this one got a little crazy. I think I want to change that bottle shape a little bit. There we go. All right. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I'm doing with this. Okay. All right. Well, let's spend this time. So yeah, it's the comments section. So let's go to last week's cartoons, the pre-Thanksgiving cartoons, and see what people thought. Or actually, one of them was actually on Thanksgiving Day, and I made no reference to it. So here's my clumsy transition. Let me get everything set up here. Clumsy transition. Infinite hello. Oh, not that. No, there we go. Sorry about that. Yes. So the series. So here is the Go Comics. Sorry, I'm hiding their logo. But this is the Go Comics website. And here, let me. Go Comics. So that's the logo for them. And this is the website where the archive of the cartoons are. And so here is the last cartoon for November 21st. Okay, so now they would never know whose cap it was. Oh, nice. And they've got, I missed it, a couple comments. 3 comments. Oh, 12 loves. That's what they get for marking their territory. They're only used in December, so it doesn't matter. Oh, Christmas. Oh, that's nice. What difference does it make if they're the same brand? Oh, that's true. They all fit. Oh, sorry. I'm usually signed in. I think I got signed out of everything. So there's little spray paints fighting there. Fighting for the cap. Okay. And the previous day would be the 19th. All right. They may contain amazing insights into the human condition, but they may contain amazing insights into the human condition, but he could repel bugs. 1 comment, 8 likes. 1 comment. They could swat bugs if they were so inclined. Oh, that's good. Thank you, Ed. Yeah. Ed's always got good comments. And he lets me know if he doesn't like the joke. Nice. Oh, but there's a bug. That's true. Heavy books are good at smashing things. All right. So those are the reactions to last week. And here's a reaction to something random in the past. So March 7th, 2013. And it's tea bags. An assortment always ran the risk of being just a collection of undesirable tea bags. All right. Ooh, wow. 8 comments. Yikes. I think I missed this the first time around. Let's show all. Does anybody actually like Earl Grey with mint and a touch of vanilla chocolate? Tea, Earl Grey, hot. Captain Picard, got that one right. When I think of one, I always go end page to post. When I can think of one, I always go end page to post, so I won't be tempted to plagiar cheat. Would bet the farm on what I think lies above on this one. Know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Okay. The farm on what I think lies beneath this one, lies above on this one. Okay. End page to post. Oh, so it doesn't plagiarize the comments. I see. I stand corrected. Not one Tea Party Politico reference. I'm so proud of us. Oh, Tea Party. I had some Earl Green. That wasn't too bad. Earl Green. So maybe some organic Earl Grey. Additionally proud, there were no verbs. Let me see. Ran the risk. Oh. Yeah, ran the risk. Huh? Okay. No replies. There's another reply. Lady Grey is even better. Wow. Tea Party. Yeah. I don't realize how I might be setting people off with my random choices. Okay, so let's go. Oh, it's a bra. It's a beige bra. They offered each other very little support. Funny. Okay. A friend is like a good bra. Hard to find, supportive, comfortable, always lifts you up, never lets you down or leaves you hanging, and is always close to your heart. Oh, that's nice. All right, one more. There's not the meanness. There's somebody criticizing my lack of verbs. Okay. He wondered how much of his life would be spent cheeseless and half sprung. Nobody. And used erasers. Waiting for pencils to make mistakes was hardly a purposeful life. Oh, come on. Somebody pinned it. July 7th, 2014. He felt his involvement in measuring weight gain was premature. All right, yeah, paper adds 1/10 of an ounce. Oh, where's the other one? And it's never too soon to measure a cupcake concerning weight gain. Trust me on this one. Oh, all right. Well, I'm just getting nice comments from nice people. Wow. Yeah, I guess I was, collecting people that were looking for political agenda in my cartoon. But her inevitable heartbreak was due to her love of wild kindling. All right, here we go. One more. Oh, it's got a pin, but I don't like cheese on top of a slice of pie was a misunderstood art. I know I had comments about that. Maybe I repeated myself. They were either expensive cheese or cheap foam rubber. Wow, 11. Yeah, so, or Frank Gehry building, or, yeah, I think this was one that within the comment section I've actually looked at. Or at least foam rubber doesn't stink. Stinky cheese. All right, so let's do some coloring. Oh, this cartoon. Whoa. All right, so that's what the archive looks like, and so you can go back through those and randomly look through them, or you can, just enjoy the comments. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, or just enjoy people's comments and criticisms. Maybe a brighter yellow. Yeah, just do something more straightforward. Let's see. Yeah, that'll work for both of them. I think the... Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do here. Let's fill these labels so I can at least color them. Something like that. Okay. Oh, wait, should I do this? Yeah, maybe that makes sense for the printing. It looks more printed on. All right, and then the labels. Maybe just try a little. Oops. An orange type thing. Okay. Something like that. Okay, a little bit of this. Trying to make stuff look like glass. Oops. And wow, I haven't done what? Stop it. I haven't done that in a while. Forgot to fill something in and do it on the wrong layer. Okay. There we go. There we go. And now for the eyes. Whoops. Oh, so I got a little something going on there. Okay, let's try this again. Cast a bit more of a shadow. All right, something like that. That's a little bit big, isn't it? Yeah, then that edge out a little bit. I should read better. And it looks like I'm gonna have to move some stuff over here. There we go. Okay. All right, so there's one. Let's go right for the orange. Sure. All right, and some labels. Okay, maybe a little darker. And a little more yellow. All right, and maybe some coffee. Yeah, I think that works. Oh, where are we here? There we go. What? There we go. All right. Why do I keep switching to? All right. And I'm going to finish this a little bit more. There we go. And this is just to put them in that space. There we go. Look at that. Oh, I was working so small there. Sad coffee. All right. Yeah, that works. All right, so now the convenience store time. Okay. Let's switch over to that. And that chime you hear is the was original doorbell, I think written in the 60s for National, which was Panasonic, and used by Family Mart. And now it is the standard Family Mart door chime when you come into the store. So this week, and I may have done this before because this is a super common thing, but it looked really good and I missed it. It's been a while and it's getting cold, so in the winter people eat a lot of these. So what I brought today was mikan jelly. So mikan are the little sweet seedless oranges, originally from China. So they're sometimes known as mandarin oranges, but they call them mikan in Japan. And mikan jelly is a really common way to get them. So this might be a little messy thing to eat on camera, but we'll give it a shot. So mikan, of course, were imported from China and then grown in Japan, and are very popular. Now, they were the number one fruit, in Japan forever. I think more recently apples and bananas are getting to be more popular. But in the winter, the very common image is mikan on the kotatsu, which is the heated table, kind of with the blankets around it. So electric heater under the table. You sit on the table with a little blanket that comes off of the edge, kind of like a bed skirt around the edge of the table. Sit there and eat mikan because they, for fighting, very immune system, fighting colds and things in the wintertime. So eating mikan and sitting in your kotatsu in the winter is very Japanese style. And there is actually a eating too many mikan side effect that a lot of Japanese kids get because mikan are very sweet and delicious, and just eating too many, they turn orange. That's true. Look it up online. Pictures of orange Japanese kids because they ate too many mikan. But that's a common side effect of eating too many mikan in the in the winter. And there's a name for it too. It's very funny. But yeah, so 15th century mikan came to Japan. And then they said the Jesuits in Japan brought the plants back with them to the Americas, and they started growing them in Florida. So that same kind of plant from China was then brought to the Americas. In like the 17th century, 18th century maybe, 17th century maybe. But it's something that was exported and has remained popular in Japan forever. In fact, you can get a very like luxury version of mikan jelly at a lot of the department stores. So probably like $8-10 for a little cup of something, and it's just a mikan and a little bit of a nicely prepared jelly. So there's what it looks like, and actually it's always a little bit juicy on the top. But yeah, so it's just little sections of mikan floating in gelatin. And you can get some other fruit versions, especially in Osaka. They love their mixed fruits, so you can get like a pineapple, orange, grape kind of version of this, like a mixed fruit version, like their mixed juice. And look, they give you a little dessert spoon with anything that has some dessert. I don't want to get this on the microphone, I really don't. And yet I'm sure you don't want to hear me eat this on the microphone. But as you can see, it's just kind of a clear gelatin. They don't color it or anything, just the fruit. Can you even see that? Just the fruit itself colors it. So it's got some juice in it, maybe, so slightly orangey yellow, but mostly just clear. But really light and really sweet. And actually, gelatin, the konnyaku jelly, which is made from the plant vegetable fibers, is a common diet thing in Japan because it fills you up. It has no calories, just a little bit of fiber. Very low calories, so that's a very common diet thing, is just eating gelatin to make your stomach full but starve yourself to death. Oh, but this is so good. Yeah, so this is everywhere. You can find this at every grocery store and convenience store. There we go. Whoa, I'm trying to get this on camera. They're very light, very natural. Gelatin, and I wonder if the gelatin in Japan is different. If they use more plant-based or vegetable-based stuff, or if it's still just the cooked down, like, horns and hooves that it is in every other country. Because it's very light. It's not so rubbery. So I'm wondering if it's a little bit different substance, or they just have a different way to prepare it. So it's a little, different in that way. All right. So mikan jelly. Oh, actually, this is the only label. So delicious mikan jelly. So nothing about the company. Premium. This is the premium jelly. But there's a few different brands and a few different sizes. They actually get quite large. But you have to have mikan in Japan. And of course, the more expensive, the sweeter and firmer and more amazing. But they're pretty easy to get in large quantities everywhere, especially during this season. Just like Florida oranges are, all sent in the wintertime up to the northern states in America, the same sort of thing. Here they import a lot of mikan, so you have families especially, getting cases of mikan and kind of splitting them. And a thing that's really, when you're eating your mikan and the kotatsu, instead of just tearing the peel off, is actually to tear it in sections so it looks like flower petals, and then pulling the fruit off of the middle is the better way to do it, because then it's in one piece and kind of easier to deal with. But that's the more aesthetically pleasing style for eating your small seedless oranges. So very delicious Japanese mikan. Now we're getting into that mikan season. We're getting into the hot sweet potato mikan season in Japan, and that's nice. Very nice. Okay, so let's do some writing and wrap this thing up. There we go. All right, sorry, looking very strange today. I hate that close-up camera. It just shows me how strange I'm looking. Anyhow, okay, so this is the writing portion, right? And let's do it quick. Okay, so So my idea here was Coffee explaining that it's not juice. So Coffee spent most of his time explaining that he wasn't juice. Coffee spent most of his time explaining that he wasn't juice. Yeah, he's brewed, right? So Coffee spent most of his time explaining why he wasn't juice. Maybe why. Explaining why he wasn't juice. Coffee spent most of his time at breakfast explaining why he wasn't juice. I think that makes the most sense. Most of his time explaining why he wasn't juice, and these guys I gotta shorten this up. What it would be like to come in a bottle. To come in? Glass bottles always made milk very nostalgic. Glass bottles always made milk very nostalgic. Okay. Nostalgic. Excellent. All right, so that is what we got. So glass bottles always made milk very nostalgic. Yeah, instead of doing it the long way. All right. So thank you very much for joining me. And Ascending Storm Art, I will take a look at your Twitch channel if you are on Twitch. I have a combined chat, so I'm not sure where you came from, but I will look for you and check out what you are doing. And thank you very much for watching. And if you'd like to see more of this, the archives on both Twitch and YouTube have all of the old live streams. And the microphone gets progressively worse the further you go back, so be careful. And yeah, if you would like to look at the archive, gocomics.com/domestic abuse. Abusecartoons.com is the site. You can order books. And if you want to support this cartoon, like I mentioned earlier, patreon.com/abusecartoons, original art, signed books, my eternal gratitude. And thank you so much to the patrons, my current patrons. I couldn't do this without you, and you keep me coming back every week feeling determined and invigorated and like I have an audience, which I do, but I just don't interact with it very much. So this is your access point to this cartoon, would be this live stream. So thank you very much, and I will see you again next time. Goodbye.